I'm BugeyeBob, and I'm on a mission to resurrect this 1958 Austin Healey Mark I Sprite from this to this, so it doesn't end up in this. BugeyeBob back at you again, and I'm going through straightening up some bent areas on the car, using different ways of doing it. I'm going to talk about one of the pieces of the frame that's bent, and what I thought it was and what it actually is, how I found out, and let's kind of jump right into this. These pieces here are where the A-frame goes in to swing up and down. They were bent quite a bit, and what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get them so that they're fairly straight. Can't get it on that side, but I can get it on this side. Fairly straight going up and down on alignment. And the way that I did it was a combination of tools. Everything from a big honking crescent wrench that I slipped on and used that to bend the pieces back and forth. Small pliers that I used to bend little bits of it back and forth, and hammer and dolly that I used to try to level things up once I'm over and done with. Now the problem that you have is sometimes you need to be able to get inside of the thing, and you can't do it with a hammer and dolly. So what I do is I grab a piece of wide flat bar, this is 1/4-inch flat bar, put it in there and tap it with that. If I overhit it, I can come back in with a dolly, hold it up in there, and then smack it back down, and you see that's pretty level right in there. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. So that's the way I've been doing it. This piece here, you can see right here, there was a little crease there. That was pushed up, and this piece here was pushed back in. I used the little pliers to bend this piece back out and around. I actually came in from the inside here a little bit to tap it just a little bit more. And then I slid this piece up in there to pound down against to flatten that down. And I can see that this right here has a little bit of a couple of bent spots on it, so I'll come up underneath of it with a dolly and flatten those down. And that's pretty good. Now, this might look like there's a bad crack here, but if you could see it up close, you'd see that that was actually the top end of a cut that was designed to actually keep cracks from forming. And the way they do that is they stamp an arc in the metal, and that gives it a wide stress area, which hopefully keeps the cracks from forming. Then, once I'd kind of beat these pieces into shape, I came back here, this flange down through here. This took a lot of road abuse, and it got bent quite a bit. And to straighten it up, simply use these little pieces of pliers. Now the floorboards have a lip on them, hopefully, that go up and sit on this. So it helps to have that piece fairly well straightened around when you go to put your floorboards in. And you'll see me on the other side, I'll straighten this out some more. There's actually places where So what I'm doing is I'm hitting on this panel back here, but I'm hitting it about that far up, which will help swing this back around and straighten that out. This right here is kind of bent up, and this right here is bent. I got to put a patch in there anyway, so that's fine. You can't see that. What the hell am I doing? So where I was tapping around in here. That pushes this back while I put pressure on this part right down here from the other direction, and it swings that metal back around. This right in here, I've got to replace, put a patch in right here. Looks like somebody may have done that once already. And this is dented right here. I can feel it. You might not be able to see it, but I can feel it. So that's got to be fixed. But I think that takes care of a lot of the stuff on this side. So now let's go to the other side. Let's talk about this piece. I initially thought this piece was pushed in this way, so it was bent like that, and that's what caused this crease here. But then I started doing then I started measuring inside here, looking to see how twisted it was, and it is twisted a little bit, but not terribly bad. So if I run a square into right here, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap, not a tremendous one. I mean, it's what, 1/8 of an inch up here and 3/16 down there. But I set that framing square on the top of this piece, and when I get over here, there's a good, 3/8 of an inch that this piece actually got pushed down. So it's pushed in a tiny bit, but it's actually pushed down from what it should be. And that explains why, if you look here, you see there's a crease there because this pushed down, and that forced that metal had to go someplace, so it creased it right there. But the confusing part is it also put a crease in right here. Move that back just a tiny bit more. It also put a crease in right here. So this piece, when it moved down, put this crease in, put that crease in. So to get that taken care of, this has to be bent up and slightly out. So how the hell am I going to do that? This piece down here is bent. Can you see that? I think you can see that. Well, I can't get on it as good as I would have liked. All right. See if I can make use of the massive crescent wrench. That looks like it's working pretty good. Maybe have to use a shorter crescent wrench. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can now make a one-time or recurring donation to help save Lazarus through PayPal. For less than the price of a cup of coffee each month, you can support this project as a member on Patreon. See the links in the description below. That's better. All right, let's come over here and talk about these couple of spots here. This was bent out of shape just like the other side was. Same sort of thing. You can see it's still a little wonky. but much better than it was. This piece here, you can see there you can see, if I stick my finger up in there, you can see that arc in there real good. That's pretty good there. This piece up underneath it here that needs to be probably cut out and straightened out and welded back in. This is a mess. And if we go down through here, you can see there's a pretty big bend down here. Hit stones, whatever, that's what's going to happen, folks. Grab some more implements of destruction and let's try coming down here. Just a little bit more down, right about there looks good. And of course the metal feels just solid as all hell on this side. Thank you very much. Now let's see if I got that wide enough to get that chunk of flat bar in there. Pretty happy with everything so far except for this. Now this has to be bent up that way. The problem is I can try doing it with a little hydraulic ram I've got, and this bolt you can see right here is tipped like this and it should be straight that way. But what I'm afraid of is, I'm afraid if I try using the hydraulic ram, I'll end up busting these welds here. Maybe not. Don't know. Don't know if I can even get the hydraulic ram in there. I suppose we can find out. This damn thing is heavy as hell to try to manhandle and control. I'm putting all my weight on that. Problem is you got to overbend it back the other way because there's going to be some spring back. I must say, I wonder what would happen if I put a little heat into that right there. I wonder if that would relax out. Let's find out. I don't know if we gained anything from that or not. Well, if it stays when it cools, that's about as good as it's going to be gotten, I think. Give it lots of stress relieving taps, and this started swinging around, so something must have loosened up. All right, gonna call that quits for right now. See how it goes. Let it cool off. Excuse the audio because I don't have the regular microphone on, but I wanted to check and see now that this has had a chance to cool down, how close I was. And this side right here is up a 1/16 of an inch, or down a 1/16 of an inch from this edge here. And this edge here is level with these two. So all in all, I think it's pretty damn close. It's a hell of a lot better than it was, where it was off by a 1/4 of an inch before. Let me grab that little square and see how we are for straightness. Now, I can't go tight against this edge. Let's see if I can get you to where you can see the edge I'm talking about. I can't go tight against this edge because there's weld in the middle, but if you look down this line right here to the gap, I don't know, maybe we got a 1/64 of an inch from being straight. Maybe a 32nd. It's certainly a hell of a lot better than what it was. So I'm going to call that success. So what my primitive reptilian brain failed to grasp until I got into editing is the reason that I got those ridges in places like that wasn't because it got pushed up or down so much as the fact that that just got bashed in on the end. And if you look at the image on the left, you will see the length of the passenger side member where it comes out. And then if you look at this image here, you'll notice that it is about a 1/4 of an inch shorter. So somehow I've got to find a way of stretching that out. And I don't know how to do that. So if anybody's got an idea, please let me know. So that little hydraulic power pack works so well for that other thing. I am going to try using it to get this pushed out far enough to where I can get this front panel straightened around some. So we've got it in place, but I don't like the fact that it's tipped this way so much. But we're going to run it for a little bit. Here we are. Run out of fluid. Damn it. I need to put oil in it. That's what you call your spectacular favor. Spectacular, whatever, failure. That's it. That goddamn thing to jam in there some fucking way. That's doing something. Damn it. Sliding all over is what it's doing. wondering to yourself, why in the hell is he trying to pull this out when he's going to be replacing it? I'm trying to pull it out so I can get this piece up front straightened out. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, folks, she ain't perfect, but she's better than what she was. As you can clearly, get on there, damn it. As you can clearly see, this is going to have to be cut out and patched in, but it's down flat enough to where I can get it to welds and get the cut, make the cut halfway decent, and have some idea of what the hell I'm actually doing there. So, hell, little buff and polish and that'll look just fine. All right, that is it. I'm done for now. Okay, folks, this video is a little bit shorter than normal, so just for giggles, I thought I'd throw in some footage that I shot on March 30th of 2018 at the New Orleans Motorsports Complex of the 24 Hours of Lemons race they held there. They didn't actually run for 24 hours. I think it ran for about 6 hours. But this is about 5 minutes of short, quick little video. And it's kind of interesting, some of the vehicles that they have show up for these types of races. If you've never heard of 24 Hours of Lemons, check them out. They are interesting races. Well, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things to do, or maybe not to do, in this episode. Please like and comment on this video as it encourages YouTube to share it with others and helps grow the channel. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to get notified when new videos are released. If you'd like to support this channel and save Lazarus from the recycle furnace, you can now make a one-time or recurring donation through PayPal. You can also support this restoration project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob. Patreon members get early access to the videos and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended videos, member names in the credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook. You'll find the links in the description below for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel.